according to the results received and compiled through our parallel voter tabulation, PVT, based on information transmitted to us from polling stations and totaling centers across the country, our tabulation indicates that we have won this election. We have won this election both at presidential level and majority seats in parliament. We therefore view the continued delay in the transparent announcement and verification of presidential results with grave concern. The pattern of reports reaching us raises legitimate fears that this delay could create an opportunity for interference with or manipulation of the results. We call for the immediate publication of the results in accordance with the law and for all stakeholders to be given access to the relevant electoral records so that the will of the Zambian people can be independently verified. We have received deeply troubling reports from several parts of the country which require urgent explanation by the Electoral Commission of Zambia and relevant authorities. In Mufurila, for example, we have received reports that members of the military have taken control of certain totaling centers and that Gen 20 forms are allegedly being removed. These reports must be addressed immediately. Electoral materials are not the property of any political party, government officials, or security institutions. They are part of the official record of the sovereign decision made by the Zambian people. Presidential ballots are counted at polling station level alongside other elections, and presidential results are therefore available to party agents through prescribed electoral documentation. It should consequently surprise no one that our agents and structures have been able to obtain results from across the country and establish a clear trend through our PVT. We are equally concerned about reported incidents involving ballot boxes in Chawama and Matero constituencies. Any allegation of ballot boxes being unlawfully removed, stolen, interfered with, or transported outside established electoral procedures must be investigated immediately and transparently. Those responsible, if these allegations are established, must be held accountable under the law. In Northwestern Province, we have received reports that returning officers and presiding officers have been instructed to stop issuing results and Gen 20 forms. If confirmed, such conduct would be wholly unacceptable. Election results belong to the people. Party agents and other persons entitled by law to receive electoral records must not be denied to them. In Northern Province, we have further received disturbing reports concerning the alleged involvement of a senior government official in the movement of government ballot boxes, including allegations that officers transporting ballot boxes to a totaling center have been instructed to pass through the official's residence before proceeding to the designated center. These allegations are extremely serious and demand immediate investigation. No ballot box should be diverted from legally prescribed chain of custody. I would like to issue a timely warning to my dear sister, Deputy PS Undi in Kasama, who has been mentioned in this particular case. So my dear sister Undi, stop what you're doing. Let the will of the Zambian people prevail. I therefore call upon the Electoral Commission of Zambia to act decisively and transparently. Preserve every ballot, preserve every Gen 20 form and other electoral record. Protect the chain of custody. Allow accredited political party agents and observers to perform their lawful functions. Publish the results, polling station by polling station, and constituency by constituency, so that every figure announced can be reconciled against the original records. I equally call upon men and women in uniform to remember that their loyalty is to the Constitution and the Republic of Zambia, not to any individual, political party, or temporary holder of public office. The institutions of the state must remain impartial. Their responsibility at this critical moment is to protect the people. Elected officials and electoral materials, and not to interfere with the democratic process. To our party agents, monitors, supporters, and citizens across the country, remain peaceful, vigilant, and within the law. Protecting the vote does not mean engaging in violence or confronting security personnel. It means documenting results, preserving copies of lawful electoral records, reporting irregularities through the appropriate channels, and insisting peacefully upon transparency. To those administering this election, I say this: Zambia is bigger than all of us. Governments come and go, but the republic remains. No temporary political advantage is worth damaging the institutions upon which our democracy depends. If the official results differ from the results recorded at polling stations, the answer is not a secrecy. The answer is transparency. Put the records before the nation and allow every number to be reconciled. The people of Zambia voted. Their decision must be respected. This is the moment of patriotism, restraint, and courage. Let every Zambian who's been entrusted with the people's vote discharge their responsibility faithfully. Let us be patriots. Let us protect the vote peacefully and lawfully. Let us defend the sovereign will of the Zambian people. I will at this juncture call upon the international community and all stakeholders, including international monitors, to take specific interest on the issues that I've raised in this statement, so that we have a transparent and accountable process throughout this election. We expect that the stakeholders will immediately engage Electoral Commission of Zambia so that they provide the answers that the Zambian people need. I will also urge the Electoral Commission of Zambia to immediately address the nation, updating them on the issues that we've raised in this statement, so that every Zambian remains peaceful, every Zambian remains confident that the electoral process will deliver the result in accordance with the will of the people of Zambia. One Zambia, one nation. May God bless you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Piri Piri says there was no sound. Okay. Yeah. So this comment here from Irene actually makes a lot of sense. And I feel the same way. She says, shocking for a lawyer to declare himself a winner. Okay. And I knew, like, we knew this was going to happen. There was going to be this right here where we are. Okay. Where Mundibile says, well, the election has been stolen. And then we over here have the Hakahindes saying otherwise. Now, I'm not a fan of what's happened right now as far as vote counting to be suspended. So we're going to go to ECZ. We're going to go to the ECZ page here because they have suspended counting of the votes. Okay. And I think, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this. So let's let's see what the ECZ is saying here. This is horrible, if you ask me. Yeah, if you ask me, that is actually horrible. I will just do this. Okay, we need sound. Okay, we're not interested in that. Man, when did they start pronouncing this thing?
Members of the press, this afternoon, I wish to give an update in terms of the development of the conduct of the 2026 general election. This morning, the Electoral Commission of Zambia held a meeting at which it made a resolution to suspend the counting and announcement of results of the election. To this effect, I will read the statement arising from that decision. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has noted with concern reports of violence during the counting and announcement of results in some districts. The violence is targeted at poll staff and in some instances has resulted in the theft of marked ballot papers in ballot boxes. In view of the security situation and continued threats of violence, the Commission has with immediate effect suspended the counting and announcement of results throughout the country in accordance with Section 67, subsection 3 of the Electoral Process Act, number 35 of 2016. The Commission will review the suspension within 24 hours. I thank you.
Thank you, Chief Electoral Officer. In view of the developments, we will be circulating the statement that has been signed by the Commission for all of your stakeholders to probably just have a look at what the CEO has read. We will keep you updated on the developments as they unfold. With that said, thank you very much and good day.
So this is a little bit problematic for me. This is very problematic for me in a sense that why? Okay, let's just entertain the thought of saying there is some violence happening in some places. Let's just entertain that thought for a second. Why would you suspend countrywide counting of all the votes? Now that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Why would you suspend the countrywide counting of all the votes? It would make sense to pause counting or to suspend counting of the votes in those places, in those districts where you have noted violence, but continue counting in these other places where there is no violence, so that vote counting continues, makes the process easier. Because this right here, unfortunately, it raises the question, begs the question to say, what's going on? Did you lose the election? Are you stealing the elections? By the way, even though we didn't support Brian, but we live in a democratic nation. And if Brian has won the election, then he deserves to win the election. It's just part of the election game. That's just how it goes. And we'll have to congratulate him. We have to congratulate him and concede the elections. If he won, we have to concede and just let him be the leader, because that is the will of the people. That's just how it works. So these right here raises questions for me. Why would you suspend counting of the elections nationwide? And then to review that in 24 hours. Yesterday, I said, I don't think they're going to announce the winner up until maybe 18 hours or on Monday. That was my projection. That was my prediction. And then here we are. Here we go. If you guys go and watch my live, the previous live we did, I said that. I said, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we are going to get announcement of who the winner is tomorrow. And I was right. I was right. That right there raises a lot of questions and concerns about the transparency. Okay. Irene says, not shocking, it's known. Yeah, 100% for sure. I have heard here in Matera some ballots have been stolen. They need to recover them. And I understand that. I truly understand. Some ballots have been stolen. They need to recover them. Good. Cool. But why suspend the nationwide counting? It only makes sense to suspend counting in those places where there is violence and there is ballot papers missing. That's it. And guess what? In those places, if there is theft and destruction of ballot papers, then we can just do recasting of the votes. Like we can just have people go back and vote again. But you don't have to suspend counting the whole nation. That doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. 24 hours is too much for people to wait. I know. So we won't get an announcement of these elections up until Monday. This is what I'm saying now. We won't know anything until Monday. This gives a lot of time. Gives a lot of time for anybody to do anything. Just gives a lot of time for anybody to do anything. This doesn't sit well with me. It does not sit well with me. I'll tell you that right now. So, not so much that we can talk about, that we can go off on, guys. I just wanted to give you that update. So, we shall continue just, I guess, waiting. We just shall continue waiting to see what comes out of this. But this is horrible. This is horrible. All right, so not so much that we can say here. We shall be back to do another stream, and maybe we're going to have a panel of a discussion, and yeah, we'll go from there.